Hi everybody, this is Michelle Stelling with the National Association of Digital Scrapbookers, NAODS.com. And this is Q&A Tuesday, and we are going to answer Chris's question. She is from San Diego, California, and she asked, what are clusters and how are clusters different than quick pages? So quick page, really kind of in a nutshell, quick pages are pretty much the 12 by 12, the whole entire page. Clusters are kind of the smaller version where you can add clusters to a quick page, or you can add it to your own page. So right here is kind of an example of what I used. This is Snickerdoodle Designs by Karen. This is a cluster from one of her kits. I believe it's the Beatrice kit, but I'll tell you the exact name here in a few seconds. But this is basically a really quick little 5 by 7 postcard. You can make postcards and invitations and stuff like that from a cluster. So let me just kind of show you what this is comprised of. So basically it's just 3 different layers and then the cluster. So let's start from scratch. So the first thing I'm going to do is I figure out what size do I want this to be. So I'm going to go with File, New, and then Blank File, and this is going to be a 5 by 7 because that's kind of a normal postcard size. And I'm going to make sure it's inches, 5 by 7 inches, 300 resolution, and then click OK. So now I've got my piece of paper, basically. Then I'm going to go find a cluster. So you can find clusters all over the internet. Check out Nibbles Scribbles and Snickerdoodle Designs by Karen. They have all different kinds of clusters that you can purchase online. So let me go ahead and find that cluster. Okay, so it is in the Beatrice kit, so that's SD Beatrice, and it's in her clusters area. So there are a couple different clusters in there. Let's just go ahead and open up this one, and I'm just going to drag and drop that. Now you can place that in there as well, but I'm going to go ahead and drag it and drop it into my 5 by 7. Now I'm going to close this one out, and notice that it's a little bit too big. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I have my Move tool selected, and I'm going to take it from one of the corners and shrink it down a little bit. And I'm going to have it fill up the entire page pretty much. And the background is white. I'm not so sure I want to keep white, but for now let's just go ahead and bring in some of the photos. So I'm going to go to File and Open. I'm going to go find some photos that I can go ahead and pull into this area. So I need to go back out into here. I think I will go ahead and use a cute picture of baby Aspen here, my cousin's little girl. And I'm just going to drag it and drop it in there. Again, you can place it if you want to. It's way too big, so I'm going to take it from one of the corners and shrink it down. You'll also notice here on the right hand side that it went above the background layer, and that is totally fine. And I'm just going to kind of place it right behind this cluster. Okay, so we have the cluster on top, and then we have the picture, and then I'm going to have another photo come in over the top. So I'm just going to go File, and this time I'm going to go ahead and place it, and I'm going to use another photo of Aspen. So let's just go ahead and use this one right here, and this is going to place on top of that layer, and then I'm going to shrink it down. So either way is fine. And then I'm going to go ahead and rotate this so that it fits inside behind that cluster. Okay, it's perfectly fit back there. Now if I want to change the background color, I can just go ahead to the background layer. I'm going to click on my foreground, set my foreground color. I can come out into my page there and do a sample color. So let's just say I want this deep rose color, and then I can take my paint bucket and then just fill it behind there. If I don't like that, I can try another one. Just click on the set foreground color, maybe do this light blue, and then go back in and fill it with that color. So within a few minutes you can create a nice little postcard out of these clusters, all different kinds of clusters. Let's just go ahead and pull in one more cluster so you can see how easy they are to use. I'm going to go back into that kit by Karen. And again, it's Snickerdoodle Designs by Karen, and the kit is called SD Beatrice. You can find it on her site. And then in this cluster here, let's just go ahead and bring in this one. This would use 3 different photos. Okay, so I'm just going to drag and drop that into my page. And it is too big, so let's just go ahead and shrink it down a little bit. Now, if your picture doesn't fit perfectly inside of those circles, you can always do a nice little, let's just show you here. You can put it behind there. There you go. Let's pull this one over here to this other side. Usually, a lot of the clusters are going to be in the circle format, or in the square format, but if they're not, let's just close out of that one, close out of this. You can always take that, and I'm going to go ahead in here. You can do it sort of like this, and I'm going to go ahead and hold the shift key down to get myself a perfect circle. Now again, you can do this a couple different ways, so I'm just going to go ahead and hold my shift key down and cut out of this photo here and make sure I'm on that layer. We might have to simplify that, but I'm just going to inverse that and then hit the delete key. Yeah, it does have to be simplified, so I'm going to right click, simplify that layer, and then hit the delete key and then deselect, and then come on in over here and take in, oops, I cut off too much of that. Let's just rotate it a bit, and then it's going to go behind that area. So let's drag it and drop it below that, and now it fits in there perfectly. Okay, and we can do the same for this one if we want to. You just see here. I'm going to put that right behind it, and then I'm going to go to my layer here and hold down my Alt and Shift key to create a circle. Go to the layer, select an inverse, and then hit the delete key, and then they fit in there perfectly. If you need to know more about how to do these steps, I know I go through these rather quickly, you can always check out our site at naods.com. We do have some great specials at /secret, and we have some great bonuses if you want to become a member. You can always go inside the membership area, and I go through all of these steps really slowly inside of the membership area, and you can watch them over and over again. So check out that section, and make sure you like us in Facebook and share us, because I will keep doing these Q&A Tuesdays if I get enough likes and shares. Thanks for joining me, and have a great day.